Hey guys, welcome. In this video, we're going to check out the racing ships in Star Citizen Alpha 4.5. In this first engineering patch, we got a small rebalance for all our racing ships. Currently in game, we have these 9 official racing ships. The Origin 350R, Fury LX, M50 Interceptor, the Mustang Gamma, and the Mustang Omega. The Mustang Gamma is the one that we can purchase in game, also in the pledge store sometimes. But the Mustang Omega is the limited ship which cannot be purchased. It was only on sale during a promotion a few years ago. But the ship stats of the Mustang Gamma and the Mustang Omega are exactly the same. It's just the paint difference. Next ship is the P-72 Archimedes and the Sabre Peregrine. Also the Razor and the Razor LX. The Razor and Razor LX, they do have different specs. The general rebalance CIG did to these racing ships in this patch is that first they added armor to these ships, and of course all ships have armors added now, but the armor amount for these racing ships is smaller compared with the same variant of ships. For example, the Sabre Peregrine, the armor amount is only 1,440, but compared with the Sabre, the armor amount is 2,220. Also, the hull HP for these racing ships, in general, they are smaller compared with the same variant of ships. For example, the Origin 350R, the hull HP is only 2,400, but the Origin 300i hull HP is 8,700. And in this patch, the hull HP for some of the racing ships is reduced even more. So in general, the racing ships are more fragile, both in the armor and hull HP, compared with the same variant of ships. They also increased the emission signatures for all racing ships, both IR cross-section and EM emissions. Which makes sense because these are competition ships. The engine of these ships has to be stronger and emitting more signatures, more heat, more EM. However, the cross-section is also increased. For example, the P-72 Archimedes cross-section on the side is almost 6,500. However, on the other hand, CIG increased the speed as well as the boost capacity for all racing ships, especially the speed increase. Both the SEM boost speed as well as the maximum navigation speed are all increased, which is very important for a racing ship. And now let's take a look at the detailed specs for each of these racing ships. Now let's start with these two snuff fighters. P-72 Archimedes and the Fury LX. These two ships does not have a quantum drive. For the P-72 Archimedes, the SEM speed is 270 meters per second and boost forward speed is 620. The maximum navigation speed is also 620. So this is in SEM mode, and I have reached the maximum speed of 269. If I full boost the ship, I can reach 619. That's it. However, if I switch to navigation mode, and my speed does not change. So for the snuff fighters, which does not have a quantum drive, their speed in navigation mode as well as in SEM mode, they are exactly the same. So in order to achieve the highest speed, even in navigation mode, you do have to apply boost. Like this. Then you reach 690 meters per second. And also the maximum speed has nothing to do with how many pips you give to the engine. The pips giving to the engine only affects how fast you recharge your boost. And for all racing ships, the boost amount has been increased. So if I apply the boost, you can see on my right hand side, the boost is reducing quite slow. And then, because right now I have full engine pips, so my boost recharging really fast. If I reduce the engine pips, my boost is recharging a lot slower. The Archimedes is one-seater. It has 4 size 1 weapons. Next ship is a Fury LX, and this ship is a little surprise because this is the fastest racing ship in-game, not by a small amount, but by a huge amount. The SEM speed is 900 meters per second, and the boost forward speed can reach 1,280 meters per second. And because this is only a snuff fighter, so it does not have a quantum drive. So in navigation mode, it can only reach a speed of 1,280 meters per second, same as the forward boost speed. But in SEM mode, this is the fastest ship in game. Right now, I'm in SEM mode. I'm gonna speed up. I'm also in space, so I can reach the highest speed in a few seconds. 899 meters per second without any boost. And if I boost, 1,279 meters per second. And if I go to navigation mode, it's the same. Now, if you wonder what's the speed for the regular Fury, since the Fury LX can reach such a high speed, it is only 230 meters per second. And the highest boost speed for the regular Fury is only 550 meters per second. Even though the maximum navigation speed of the regular Fury is close to the Fury LX, 1,263. But in terms of the SEM speed, the Fury LX is way faster than the regular Fury. It is faster than any other ship in-game. The P-72 Archimedes does not have any physicalized components, but the Fury LX does have physicalized components all around the ship. The Fury LX does not have any weapons or missiles. Next two ships are the Razor and the Razor LX. The Razor has a SEM speed of 265 meters per second. The Razor LX is a little bit faster, 275 meters per second. And the Razor has a faster boost forward speed, 595 meters per second. The Razor LX is 100 meters less, only 490 meters per second. And these ships do have quantum drives, so they can reach a faster speed in navigation mode. In terms of the maximum navigation speed, the Razor is 1,450 meters per second, and the Razor LX is faster, 1,525 meters per second. So this is the Razor LX, and another thing that I forgot to mention in the intro of this video is that for all the racing ships, the timer between switching modes has been increased. For example, right now I am in SEM mode. If I switch to navigation mode, switch, you can see the spooling is much slower than any other ships. Almost 10 seconds. And now compare with the Razor EX. So this is a Razor EX, the stealth fighter. If I go from SEM mode to navigation mode, switch. So about 5 seconds, you switch from SEM to navigation mode. But for the Razor LX, switching, it takes much longer time. So what a difference. Once the spooling is over, and now my speed can increase faster. In navigation mode, I have reached the highest speed, 1,522.23 meters per second. This is quite fast. And this rebalance is important because the racing ships is best used for racing. If you bring a racing ship to combat, switching between SEM to navigation mode, it's gonna take much longer time, so you'll be at a disadvantage. However, a lot of the racing ships do have weapons and missiles. For example, the Razor and Razor LX, they have 2 size 2 weapons and 2 size 1 missiles. Next ship is the M50 Interceptor. SEM speed is 280 meters per second. Boost forward speed is 490. And the maximum navigation speed is 1,575 meters per second. Very similar to the Razor LX. This ship is called Interceptor, and indeed, this ship was used as an interceptor in many patches, especially in Master Mode, because the Interceptor is the combat meta for a long time. However, with this spooling timer change, let's test it. So I am in SEM mode, switching to navigation mode. And you can see my spooling is really slow. Like 8 to 10 seconds. However, for skilled fighters, you can still use the ship just in SEM mode to do combat. Because the ship does have 2 size 2 weapons and 2 size 1 missiles. You can still use the ship as an interceptor fighter in combat, both PvE and PvP. However, both the armor health and the hull HP has been reduced. The armor health has only 480 hit points, and the total hull health is only 2,281. So it's definitely more fragile than before. If this ship is getting hit by some ballistics, it's going to be fatal. I have not tested this ship in combat yet. Maybe I could do a video on that. But if you have used this ship for combat, please leave in the comments below. How does this ship perform in combat? The M50 Interceptor does not have any physicalized components. The next ship is a Sabre Peregrine. The SEM speed is 267 meters per second, and the forward boosting speed is 655 meters per second. This is the fastest forward boosting speed among all the racing ships except the Fury LX. And the maximum navigation speed is 1,447. Now, in SEM mode, I'm going to boost. You can see my fastest speed is 640 meters per second, and my boost can maintain for a very long time. Now, the Sabre Peregrine is also a one-seater, so it does not have an interior. However, you do have I think in the Arena Commander, we cannot open this. And this is in the PU. Yep. Indeed, this is a storage. You have 650k micro SU of storage on this side of the Peregrine. So even if you use this ship to do bunkers, you can still store something. Not a lot, but you can store something. The Peregrine also has physicalized components on top of the ship. However, the ship does not have any weapons nor missiles. The next ship are the Mustang Gamma and the Mustang Omega. I do not have the Mustang Omega, so we're gonna take a look at the Mustang Gamma. But the Mustang Omega and Mustang Gamma, the stats are exactly the same, just the paint difference. The Mustang Gamma SEM speed is 244 meters per second, and forward boosting speed is 533 meters per second. This speed is pretty fast. However, in terms of the maximum navigation speed, it's slower than all other racing ships, except the Archimedes. So maximum nav speed, 1,230 meters per second. The Mustang Gamma is a one-seater. It does not have any interior on the ship. However, it does have 2 size 1 hardpoints, so you can put 2 size 1 weapons. The last racing ship, personally, I think this is going to be the most useful racing ships in game, and that is the Origin 350R. The SEM speed is 265 meters per second, and the forward boosting speed 490 meters per second. It's not the best, but it's pretty decent, and especially the maximum navigation speed 1,500 meters per second. So the reason I say this is going to be the most useful racing ship is because it has really good speed, and also it's got a storage. So I think in the previous patches, we only have this section for the ship, which is the back. And here you can put 4 SU of storage. And on the official website for the 350R, the official storage is 4 SU, which is here. But in this patch, I find out that you can lower this front section here. And that's the only ship that has storage. So you can do some box delivery missions. Not only that, you also have these weapons. You have 3 size 3 hard points, and I think this is size 2 missiles. 2 size 2 missiles. But of course, the armor and the hull HP for the ship is quite small. You also have interior. This is the only racing ship that has an interior. And not any interior, but a luxurious interior. You have a moonroof. You also have a bed to log out. Also a bathroom. And you can customize the seats to make it into a sports seat. Not only that, you also have a storage right here. 750K micro SU under the bed. It's quite buggy though, so I just opened it and now it's gone. So that external storage is quite buggy. It doesn't appear anymore. You do not have any physicalized components on the ship. However, you do have a fire extinguisher. Very beautiful dashboard and very nice look in the cockpit. So this ship is really good at some bunker runs. You can go from bunker to bunker really fast and do some quick box delivery missions. So that is why I say the 350R is one of the most useful racing ships in game. But of course, if you're doing some dedicated racing, then you would have to consider other racing ships. However, many patches ago, if you still remember this, that we do have a set of the racing missions in the PU. I don't know when those missions got taken out, but the racing locations are still in game. You can still visit those locations, but we do not have those like checkpoints and countdowns, so we do not have those missions anymore. But we still have the racing missions in the Arena Commander, whether it's online mode or offline mode. So we have this called Classic Race, and you can choose any of those maps. For example, the Kaplan Circuit on Crusader, the Icebreaker on Microtech, Lorville Outskirts on Lorville, Miner's Lament, close to Grimhex, and the Snake Pit on Clio on Microtech, and the Skyscraper on Area 18, and Yardar Valley, I think this is on Daymar. So these are the racing locations that's currently in the PU. You can visit these locations, but you do not have the checkpoints. For example, let's choose the Skyscraper. And in the Arena Commander, you can practice or even do the racing with your friends. You also have these lights and checkpoints telling you where to go. Where should I go? Oh, straight ahead. These squares are where we need to go. I am not really good at racing. I need to do some practice. But in the Arena Commander, it's actually quite fun to do these racing. I think I'm going the wrong way. However, your character is limited. So you cannot get out of your ship. If I want to eject, I cannot eject from the ship. My character cannot walk out of the ship. Oh, leaving restricted area. Relocating. Oh, I got stuck. So I cannot get to... Oh, 5 seconds penalty. So this is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And when you have time, you can check these racing tracks out in the Arena Commander. It's quite beautiful. And it's also part of the game. Alright, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.